Hello, friends. Drew Franklin here. Adam, Nick Roush there. We're outside Kroger Field after a Week 3 win. Kentucky beating Eastern Michigan 48-23. Nice non-conference win. Just as nice as our friends at Friends of Cole. We like them. They're sponsoring tonight's Rapid Reaction. As always, check out. It's Drew. Hello, how are you? I'm great. Go Cats indeed. Friends of Cole. Wait, that threw me off. What's the website? That messed me up.
Friends of Cole, Kentucky. FriendsofColeKentucky.org.
Sorry. A little thrown off. We're live. Fans still walking out. We're having fun. Having a lot of fun because the Cutter Boley first start of 2025 went pretty well. 2 touchdowns, 240-ish yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, too, for the offense. 6 total touchdowns with Boley leading the Cats to 48 points. Nick Roush, you know the drill. You're only here with us a few minutes before Adam and Luckett and I go over the stats. I'll just start there with Boley. What did you think of Boley in his first game as a redshirt sophomore getting the start before you run off and talk to Mark Stoops here in a minute?
Kentucky had 3 pass plays of 20 yards going into this game. Boley hit 7 today. So that's good. That is a positive. And it wasn't just throw it a yard and then go get some yards after the catch. He was driving the ball downfield. There was one play in particular that really jumped out to me where he buys some time, gets away from the pressure, and he's got Willie Rodriguez like 8 yards down the field, wide open. That would have been an easy throw. He would have got the first down. And Boley said, no. I'm going to go farther downfield. I'm going to hit Josh Caddis for a 34-yard little toe tap right down the sideline. He's aggressive. He's willing to be very aggressive. I like that. He loves his tight ends, and I think he's going to have to throw to them a lot, unfortunately, because the receiver plays is a little shaky at times. But it was good to see that connection. Tight ends had 2 of the touchdown catches, 5 receptions for 89 yards. So it was a great start. And it was great to see Seth McGowan be rocking and rolling there. We got a little injury issues to Ryan Nichols. He helped get a pick on the first pass attempt of the game by deflecting it. He had a thigh injury, had to leave early. And then Dante Dowdell, he also left early with a thigh injury. Luckily, there's a bye week next week, so we got plenty of time for those guys to get healthy and get right before they play South Carolina, who just stumbled against Vanderbilt. So I don't know. Maybe Luckett, we feeling good enough to get the win? I don't know.
Hold on before we go to Luckett. Brody and JT, they're feeling good about the win. I promised some screen time here for my new friends. We got to get them home. It's late. Was that enough? You wanted to be on the news? You want to be on the news more? Got to go Cats?
Oh, yeah. Go Cats! Go Cats!
Looks like you guys had fun tonight. Thanks for joining us. Nice to meet you fellas. We're out here after every home game.
We need to get on Brody and JT's level right now.
Yeah,
that is where it's at.
I love that. Love that energy. Sorry to butt in, but I couldn't keep them waiting any longer there, Adam Luckett.
No, you got to do what you got to do. That's why you're a man of the people, Drew Franklin.
Hey, I like the energy, though, that we got in the crowd. There was some surprise rain that showed up out of nowhere.
From?
It was a beautiful, beautiful tailgate, and then all of a sudden, bam, game starts, and we're covered in rain. But it was a pretty great turnout. We got the light show tonight. Students were out in full force until halftime. Then they had to go, party down. But great job, BBN. You did good. You did real good.
The music is getting better each week.
Yeah.
We talked tonight. Was that the first time we've had the John Wall song in the stadium?
Yeah, I like that. A lot of flexing going on.
I didn't love the basketball-football crossover. Football has its own stars. John Wall song, it's a little dated. But the crowd kind of got into that. It might be one of those things they should run back. That had people on their feet doing the wall, even though that's a 15-year-old dance and this is a football game. Might have had something there.
It was still fun. It was a lot of fun. I had fun tonight. It's great to see a win. It dragged at times. The defense was leaky, as Mark Stoops would say. Very leaky, especially in that first half. They gave up almost 300 yards of offense. But Seth McGowan, 3 touchdowns. Jason Patterson punched one in, too. So not perfect, but hey, we got the dub. I know there's some people out there who wish that they would have tackled Noah Kim on that 4th and 5 because the back door got left open and Eastern Michigan took it.
Oh, no, I had 23.5. I'm safe. That's why you always bet early in the week, folks. That line moves. It moves. Adam Luckett, let's get back. See you, Nick. Tell Mark Stoops we said hi. Get in there. Record that press conference for us. Adam Luckett, we're having a little bit of fun, but it wasn't a perfect night. The defense, big step backwards. Huge step backwards. First play of the game, they get the interception. 4 interceptions in the first quarter through 3 weeks. That's pretty impressive. Also, twice they've intercepted the first pass.
I think 3 of them have come in the first. Well, 2 of them have come in the first drive.
Yes.
The Ole Miss one, I think it was the second possession. Ty Bryant got that pick, and then the third possession. So they're starting these games fast and getting some takeaways.
Toledo was the first pass also, literally the first pass of the game.
Now if we could only get some takeaways in the second, and the third, and the fourth quarter. But defense is starting these games fast, and that's allowing Kentucky to play from ahead. And they got the lead, and they kept it. But defensively, Drew, I think specifically the pass game, there were some worry moments. Ryan Nichols gets hurt.
That was a big
They play
loss.
a Maryland transfer, Kevis Thomas. He gives up the double move, the long 60-yard touchdown there, and he gets replaced. Grant Grayton plays pretty much the whole second half, a true freshman. So biggest thing to come from this, I think, is you're worried about the cornerback situation. Like, how hurt is Nichols? How hurt is Waller? You got a bye week. You got to get those guys back because that was a situation there in the first half. And overall, it just felt like Kentucky was just kind of out of sorts on defense. It felt like Eastern Michigan was one step ahead of them. They were getting out on the perimeter, I thought. Perimeter tackling was iffy again.
After getting called out this week, too.
Right. And so now I think you're going to see teams are going to attack them that way. They're going to get out on the perimeter and make Kentucky tackle, and that's going to be a focus area, I think, for them this week. You never want to see a team, Drew, pass for 330 yards, and that's what Eastern Michigan did today. No matter what. You don't want them to pass for 330 yards. Kentucky, I thought, did a good job kind of bowing up, like when they had chances to score. Only gave up 2 touchdowns, one at the end against the reserves, but overall just too many yards and too much time for Eastern Michigan to be on the field, especially when the offense was cooking a little bit. You want to get the ball back in their hands.
I don't know if people at home can see this, but there's a long hair on this microphone. It's driving me crazy, so I'm going to get that. I don't know if people could see that, but it was really still in my focus there. I have one more complaint, pretty defense-related, very Mark Stoops-related. The end of the first half, my goodness. Can we, when it gets to 4 minutes, can we just leave? Can we just take delay of games and go sit in the locker room? Holy cow, it's every week. And again,
3 kneels and a punt.
You have the ball with 2 minutes left and still manage to give up 10 points to Eastern Michigan. What was that? And it might have been Thomas, who you mentioned, but give up a 64-yard
bomb,
touchdown.
And then the field goal.
I even jokingly say, hey, folks, that might not be it. Would you really be surprised if they score again? Well, you know what? They scored again. Punch in another 3 right before halftime. This has been a problem with Stoops, spanning rosters, spanning coordinators. This goes back to since he got here. I do not understand how they are so bad at getting to the locker room, but we got a little taste of that again tonight.
Right. What was it, 28-6 at one point, and then the middle 8 abomination turned it to 28-16. 28-16. Had to do some math there late at night. So yeah, I mean it's been a weakness, Drew. It's like something they just have to overcome. It feels like at that point, right?
Take a look at it. That's for sure.
But like that 3rd and 1, you cannot get stopped there. You just have to get it. Mm-hmm. Like you have to get that 3rd and 1 there. That was one of the I think for the offense that was one of the worst moments. But overall, no turnovers. Right, we know Eastern Michigan's defense is bad, but they made it look like Eastern Michigan had a bad defense today, and I think that was the goal. You rush for over 200 yards, pass for over 200 yards, and I thought Cutter Boley, he had that one series where he almost threw 2 picks right in a row. One was on the deep out, but after that, he looked like in control, and I thought he made the right plays. Even when stuff started to break down, I think he gave his receivers chances down the field to make plays. So overall, I think you have to feel good about what you saw from Boley. Seth McGowan continues to come, right? He continues to show up. And so that was a step forward for the offense, but it felt like a step backwards for the defense.
Seth McGowan, that was my next shout-out. He already has 6 touchdowns in 3 weeks. You know, played 2 non-conference teams, but the single-season record's 19. If we're just looking at pace, he is on a great pace.
Right.
To Chase Benny's 19 from, I think, this 2017
And
season.
then I think Ray had 20 total, but it was, I think, 6 receiving, 14 rushing. So, yeah, he's on pace to have a very big year, over 100 yards today for the first time. So, yeah, he's on a 1,000-yard pace and a huge touchdown pace. So, yeah, McGowan's kind of been the star of this offense in the early going. And the tight ends have been a star. How about that?
That's how we know Cutter Boley grew up watching Kentucky football. The moment they put the ball in his hands, he said, where are the tight ends? I want to prove that they exist here in Lexington. Second time this season that Rodriguez and Caddis have been your leading receivers. Tonight they each got a touchdown. Henry Boyer had a touchdown that got called back on a penalty. We almost had 3 tight ends.
Hot mic there by the official. It was a little, some crazy stuff was going on in the box.
Tight ends. One more shout out on the offense. Jason Patterson got to play tonight. Got his first career touchdown. Dante Dowdell was injured, so Patterson got to move up a spot, backing up McGowan. Great game for him. That's promising moving forward. He's a redshirt freshman that needed to get a good look and made the most of it. Jacob Coway, our kicker, still perfect.
Yeah.
I think 6 for 6. Don't have the box score in front of me, but he banged in a 51-yarder tonight. The rare had the doink go in, too, so some magic on his side. But first year for a new kicker, our kid from Montana, and he's perfect so far.
I think 6 for 6 is right. 1 against Toledo, 3 last week, and 2 tonight.
There you go.
And I thought the 51-yarder, he got a little bounce there, but it was an easy strike. Like you can see, they said he could hit from 60, and that ball looked like it could go from 60. So he's been a weapon so far, and to Peak's enjoyment, I'm sure, because nobody loves a kicker more than Stephen Peak back there. So yeah, that helps you out, right? If you need to get points, he's been consistent for you so far, and you're placing an All-American there. So that's been a nice, I think, development for the team.
Well, before we close the book on this and move on to South Carolina, who absolutely got drilled by Vandy tonight, lost Sellers for the game tonight. I don't know what that means moving forward. Big hit, big targeting call on him, but he was out. They got drilled. That's still going to be a tough game for the Cats. Looks like this is we love you too. Looks like Boley will be, most likely starting. I'd be shocked if you pulled him after that and went back to Calzada. A note on Calzada. We were in the press box. We don't get to see this, but I guess on TV they kept showing him, and I guess he was very engaged, good teammate, going over things with Boley. We'll have to go back and watch that on the replay, but I'm going to say that was the fact. A lot of people online were saying how good of a teammate he looked like on the bench. Got to be tough circumstances. I don't know what Mark Stoops has said yet, but do we even know if he's even able? Were there any injury updates at all today?
I think the one we got was basically he was dressed out, but he wasn't going to play and he wasn't going through warm-ups. Now, why would he be dressed out?
Yeah, full pads.
I don't know. I guess in case there was an injury and they needed somebody to go in there and take a knee, maybe. But, yeah, so we'll see where he's kind of at. We still don't really know much about the injury.
No, not at all.
To this point, because he was dressed out in practice, but I don't think he was really throwing, so – that's a big we'll see. It's going to be a lot of we'll see, I feel like, with Mark Stoops. Like, how serious are these injuries to Dante Dowdell, to Ryan Nichols? DJ Waller, is he going to be ready to come back? Big game, South Carolina. They got outscored 24-0, Drew, and DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions tonight. So you're when you're looking at the schedule, the Florida and South Carolina ones are kind of really stand out. So you get Florida at home, you got to go to Carolina. But we've talked about it's a huge game. They need some momentum. That'd be a big win if they could get it.
It's coming up next week. Now we're closing the book on this one. Cats moved to 2-1 on the season. Win this one 48-23. Boley looked good. Tight ends caught passes. 4 rushing touchdowns. Defense, you got a little homework to do. Might get a little talking to by Brad White this upcoming week in practice. But we're moving on with a win. Fun night in Kroger Field under the lights. Decent crowd. Shout out to all the fans who sat through the rain. That was unexpected. And thanks for all the fans who are watching this with us late tonight here on YouTube. Thanks to Friends of Cole for sponsoring. Remember, go to friendsofcolekentucky.org to learn more about how Cole helps Kentucky. It keeps the lights on, all that fun stuff, keeps the rapid reaction on. And we'll be back next week, or I won't. Luckett and Roush are heading to Columbia. I'll be doing the post-game show for Matt. You can listen to me there. But next week, it'll be you two down there. Get us a win, please.
Bye week first. Got to enjoy the bye week. We got to beat Idle.
I'm getting too excited.
Beat Idle, and then end of September, we'll spend it in lovely Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, so enjoy your Saturday next week. Then watch him in Columbia. All right?
That's first.
Anyway, go Cats.
This will be on